As we wrap things up here in the top of the inning, we roll on to our next honored guest here on Cody Butler Day, all the way from South Florida. Currently, the manager of athletic communications at Nova Southeastern University, Mr. Jonathan Leatherman. Jonathan, how are you doing today?
Good, Matt. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure, to be here today, recognizing the impact that Cody Butler had, like on his day, not just with the program, but with Georgia Gwinnett, but like around the country with the NAI ball and all he did.
Now, why on earth would I have a sports information director at a Division II school on an NAIA ball recognition day? Talk to you about your relationship with Cody.
So I got to know Cody while I was the manager of athletic communications down at St. Thomas. When we were running through, getting to Lewiston, a couple times, there 2015, we had the pleasure to come up to Lawrenceville. I ran to Cody there. Unfortunately the Bobcats, beat the Grizz to get out to Idaho then. But
Don't apologize for that.
and then in 18, and then 19, he was there. He covered, the run. That was when we had NAI ball like rolling. So our run in the national championship then. So just Cody's like impact all through that. But yeah, St. Thomas, I was there from I did my undergrad and my grad school there. So I was at St. Thomas from like 2013 all the way through like 2021. I was there for a long time.
And so, certainly glad to have you here on the broadcast as we honor Cody. It sounds to me like you had a really close relationship with him. We're just getting to know each other, you and I. But do you have like some insight to your relationship with Cody? Do you have a good story that you can share with us?
The relationship that Cody and I had, like as you kind of point out, like the sources kind of like with the NAI and all that was going on, back when they had NAI ball like rolling. That was all we would really talk about, was going through. Like I would kind of help him like with like the Sun Conference, all like the that was going on there. So he had like a little plug down South Florida. I know Robbie, he had his Kaiser ties, but like with him and Robbie focusing more on the national level, like I'm sure Cody appreciated like having like a conference guy that kind of had a feel for it. But we talk about that. We talk about, all kinds of sports. I know he was a diehard Alabama fan. I was excited, South Florida. Like I'm a huge Miami Dolphins guy, so a huge Tua Tagovailoa fan. So I was jacked up. We drafted him, Waddle. So Cody was like, "Oh yeah, super excited. Be rooting for them too, and all that he had going on." So we were friends. I thought what he did was great. So it was cool, like just have somebody, in a different state that like you run into every few times, but a close friend.
Absolutely. Talk to me about from your perspective, from your chair. You're in media, you're running the media machine at a small college athletic department. There's a saying that says high tides raise all ships. And so when Cody starts to brand NAIA ball, how does that affect your media coverage and your exposure at a school like St. Thomas?
Oh, I think what he did kind of like elevated everybody's game. When we were at St. Thomas, Nick Izquierdo and I, we kind of like partnered to do like the Golden Rake that like went viral for a little time. That blew up, especially like in 2019. Getting the story out in the Lewiston Tribune, all that. So but a lot of that's due to Cody. Every time we had a win, we would post that. It's getting featured on the NAI ball. It's reaching eyes like all across the country. And it's promoting not just our school like in the South Florida area, but also like on a national level. Everybody knew what St. Thomas was doing. Everybody knew like what the Golden Rake was. Obviously like we were doing really well offensively, so like it was prolific numbers. But just what he did, elevating the program, and then it pushes us, to be more creative. Because like of course we want the recognition, like we want to be like the forefront. We appreciate everything he was doing. We know he was close with the Grizzly program and all everything there, but like we wanted to be like kind of like his like second favorite kind of school that was getting promoted like every time we were doing something successful.
And so I can only imagine for you becoming realizing the impact that Cody had through creating NAI ball, you became a fan. Even now that you've changed schools and moved up the road a little bit, I'm assuming you didn't unfollow NAI ball all of a sudden.
No, I'm tuned in every week. I still talk to Robbie. Like I ask him like what's all going on with all these programs. I'm tuned in. Him and Connor are doing a great job. I'm really happy, that they've kept that rolling, like that show going. Obviously, like it's missing like the impact that Cody was doing and the relationships he had made. But Robbie and Connor, like, just continuing to push that brand forward, showcase like what these schools are doing in the NAI. Like, there's a lot of talent. Like, it's a really, really good association. Like, I know the postseason's wrapping up, like, or ramping up rather. Like Southeastern's a power, Georgia Gwinnett's a power. Like, it's always a big deal, and I'm still even tuned in like the NAI World Series. Like, I check out like how the Bobcats are doing, how that league's all wrapping up. So just like still keep those ties for sure.
Yeah, Jonathan, greatly appreciate your time and greatly appreciate your kind words here in your relationship and speaking with Cody Butler. I can't thank you enough for joining us on the broadcast here today. And I just want to say, I know you're busy too as well. I'm sure there's nothing going on a Saturday in the spring on Nova Southeastern's campus. But just final thoughts here as we wrap things up. And kind of that legacy that Cody has left that's left behind.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Matt. I would definitely say the legacy Cody had. Like, he built like what he saw as like just a niche product, and through social media, through like his messaging, brought like the whole country of like NAI baseball like together and like put on the forefront. Nobody's giving that kind of coverage at any level. NAI, Division 2, even Division 1. Like, nobody has like just that niche coverage that like Cody was doing. Getting eyes on all these programs, all these kids, promoting the coaches, just all the success, all that was going on. Like, what he did for the NAI baseball, and I even think the NAI, just for more like eyes on like these schools and these programs, like, is immeasurable. Like, the impact he made, it was incredible, and he's definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.